couple of, maybe a week or so ago when Martin Perez won Pitcher of the Month. We posted that on our Facebook page. By the way, follow our Facebook page.
Talk to Woody about it.
So, yes. But so many people on the Facebook page were like, great. So they can trade him just like they do with every good player we have. Mm-hmm. Or, he'll never stay here because the Rangers are going to get rid of him. And there was just comment after comment after comment about, like, he's never going to stay. He's never going to stay. Right. We're going to trade him, blah, 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 blah. So, like, does the Rangers fan base need this outside of just, like, baseball metrics?
So I think if you are a person saying, great, well, what do you think about the Joey Gallo trade? Because you have Ezekiel Duran, you have Glenn Otto, you have Josh Smith. That's already what you have paid off for on that. Now, I get that right now, Spencer Howard does not look like he can pitch Major League Baseball, and that was your trade of Kyle Gibson. But then you have, all right, I'm just going to throw out more examples. Mike Minor was an all-star, and we decided not to trade him when he had his highest value of trade. Are you guys excited that we kept Mike Minor? So there's no black and white issue here on this is the way to do it or this is the way not to do it, because we've seen where trading right now, Dane Dunning. I don't know if Lance Lynn would have signed back with the Rangers. I'm 99% sure from what I understand he wasn't going to sign back with the Rangers because they were a rebuilding team. Dane Dunning threw 6 shutout innings yesterday. What do you guys think of Dane Dunning right now in the Lance Lynn trade, that you were going to lose him for nothing? There's no guarantee that Martin Perez will sign back here. I do think he wants to sign back here if that's the case. But if there is a trade, I'm on both sides. If there is a trade that you can't pass up from a contender, you make that trade. If they're offering, no offense, but if they're offering Willie Calhoun and a bunch of guys that are your 30th best prospect in your organization, which aren't prospects at all. If you're not a top 10 prospect in an organization, you're just a guy. And hopefully you can work up to being a top 10 prospect, but don't give me, hey, he's the 22nd prospect in the organization. Well, fart on that. Like guess what? There's only 26 players on a major league team. I guess 27 or whatever it is maybe for this year. There's only so many spots. We're already looking at Bubba Thompson, first round draft pick. Where's he going to play on your team in the next 5 years if Leody Taveras can play? And if Bubba Thompson can play, where's Leody Taveras going to play? Like, you can only have so many guys on your major league team. So there's not a right answer here. If you're like, oh, we're going to just trade them like we trade all our good players. All right. Or what if we keep him and then it ends up not working out and he goes and signs with the Boston Red Sox in the offseason?
I've a series of questions that you really have to answer before you can make this decision, though.
Okay, and this is why this is going to be complicated. Back to back from the 3-2-5. Perez is not as good as he's playing. If we can get something better, make the trade. From another 3-2-5, I'm not letting go of him. So back to back, people are like, do it, don't do it.
And then somebody else saying, yeah, trade him before he turns back into Martin Perez. Because that's the fear is we've seen he is not this dude. All right, like somehow he's being this guy right now.
He probably won't have a 2.1 ERA at the end of the year.
Kyle Gibson was that guy last year for a while, and then it happened. And I'm not saying let's go ahead and do it because you need pitchers with this team, unless Jack Leiter and Cole Winn are ready. But what I'm seeing right now, they are not. So my questions, and Mike, I don't know what to do with Ezekiel Duran. I want to keep this dude so bad, and I don't know where to put him. But who are your core four, Kevin? We do this because if you're thinking we have our core four, they're at the top of their game, and the rest of the guys that are filling in are putting us in position for this window right here is it, then yes, you say we got it. We're not moving him at all. If your window is right here, otherwise you're still having to do paperclip to Lamborghini, and that's where you're at. You're kind of in the window of he's a nice house. That's getting you that Lamborghini. That's where you are right now with Perez.
The thing that's tough about your core four is half of the four that I listed at the beginning of the year, they're young, they got a lot of time.
I have two.
But it's been a rough go.
I have two. And it's only Seager and Simeon because that's your core, and they're not even performing the way they should be. They're not at that elite status that puts you in contender area.
Exactly. And my other two were Winn and Leiter, who aren't even on the team, and right now they've had their rough goes.
We talk to Frank about this all the time about just having just the right mix. It's a delicate balance to find just the right locker room, just the right clubhouse to say, this is the one, we're running with it. I've trusted John Daniels to do that, though, because on those moments, somehow he's been able to make something pretty good happen. The year you traded for Cole Hamels, you weren't supposed to do anything that year.
Yeah.
That was a trade for the next season, and then you end up doing something special. So I do trust that a little bit. I know a lot of people out there don't trust John Daniels, and I get that. I'm fine with it. I get it. But there are some things that he does very well. Right now with this team, you have a bunch of guys that are filling the roster the right way, right? Like they come in and they're doing something for a few weeks. I don't know how long. My concern is it going to last, or is it just this is a month's worth of fun? And so that's why I guess getting to that trade deadline is where I want to see their competitiveness, because I think they can do something. And it might just be the right one, but your real core is two guys and a bunch of role players that you're like, we don't know exactly what they're going to contribute. Hopefully they can be this. Hopefully they can do that. But I'm not sure enough yet to say that I have to keep Martin Perez and I can't add something special that can be a club player right now.
The other thing too is, first of all, you're not trading him now. You're not going to get good. You're not going to get good trade. Like if you start calling up teams and saying, "Hey, we're willing to trade Martin Perez today," they're going to be like, "Today?" Like we still want some things to play out here. We've only played approximately 2 months of baseball right now, and we know that we'll probably need pitching. So, all right, you want to get rid of Martin Perez today? Here's our offer today. But
can I ask a quick question about that? I've always been generally fascinated by that. Yeah. I know you said watch things play out, and I get that that's part of it. But has it ever perplexed you that like a good player, it wouldn't be advantageous to trade for them sooner? Like, let's say you're the Astros, or you pick whatever team you want.
Right.
You're a team that's good, but you could probably use a starting pitcher. I know that these deals take place close to the deadline, but wouldn't you be like, hey, we could have this pitcher for longer and probably not really pay that much more?
Yes, that's but I think you get put in a position. There's two things here. First of all, I'd have to question if the Rangers are just trying to get rid of Martin Perez right now. Like, why are they trying to just get rid of him?
Yeah.
So now I have to question on why would they want to get rid of him now when they're 3.5 games out of a playoff position? And then second of all, usually in a position that the Rangers are in right now, let's just say the Dodgers just lost Walker Buehler for a while. Clayton Kershaw is a guy that they can't really rely on anymore to stay healthy. So let's just say they were interested in Martin Perez because of how well he is pitching. Well, right now the Rangers would say, well, we want one of your top 5 prospects in your organization and then another guy that's probably ranked 6 through 10 in your organization if we're going to do it right now. And so the Dodgers would say, that's too much. And the Rangers would say, well, you seem to be desperate right now for a pitcher.
Call us back at the deadline.
So I think that a lot of times around the deadline, you get a better idea on who's in and who's out, because if the Rangers are 3.5 games out of a wild card spot at the All-Star break, I think the Rangers would lean towards holding on to him.
Yeah.
Because also, here's the deal. You also don't want to tick off Seager and Simeon too much, who committed long-term to your organization, if you're going to start dumping guys that look like they can help you, who's 31 years old. Martin Perez should be able to pitch in the major leagues for 4 more years. I will say at 35 years old, you could run into major issues with how well he can pitch, just because of age and then how many innings he's been put on. But
you want them believing that you're trying to win, trying to build a winner.
If you're 7 games out at the All-Star break of the 3rd wild card spot, you're probably not only in 4th place in the wild card rankings, you're probably in 7th or 8th place. You go, we have to jump 4 teams. We have to not only get hot, but we have to hope these 4 teams start cooling off. So then you'd probably look at it more realistically on, we're more of sellers than we are of holders or possibly buyers. So I think that's where the Rangers would want to see, at least up until the All-Star break, how this is playing out for them.